But today, I want to talk about sponsorship money, simply because I get contacted so often when I'm doing coaching calls. How much money should I be making off of the sponsorship? Your inbox, if you're a creator that gets any views, you're probably getting people contacting you from all over the world, lots of international email addresses. What's shady? What's legit? How much money should you be making? Let's cover all of that. And we'll also talk about how to secure more legit sponsorships and which type of sponsorships are good, healthy business relationships to have. So just generally speaking, I'm on a Discord server with the biggest creators on YouTube. We've had a lot of discussions there about what a good general baseline CPM is for a YouTube video, a YouTube sponsorship. And generally speaking, we agree that $20, if you're an English speaking channel, $20 CPM is a good baseline to think about for YouTube videos in particular. So what does that mean? For every 1,000 views that your video gets, you should think about asking them for as much money as $20 per 1,000. So if you make 10,000 views, $200 is the correct answer. But $20 CPM is a good baseline for YouTubers and YouTube video sponsorships. Also, $20 CPM is a good baseline for streamers. So for example, Perrin, on your Facebook gaming live streams, roughly how many views do you get on each one of those streams at the end of the day once the VOD comes out?
I'd say on average about 15,000 or so.
$300 per live stream would be a reasonable amount for Andrew Perrin to ask for a dedicated sponsor that gets a pre-roll or gets an early roll at the beginning of your streams, Perrin, where let's say Elgato Gaming wanted to sponsor your videos or some mobile gaming company wanted to sponsor your videos. They would probably ask you to play a pre-roll advertisement or to do an ad read toward the beginning of your streams. That would be about $300 per stream. Did you all know that you're worth that much money? You are. And a lot of sponsors are going to ask you to do it for free. They're going to ask you to do it for like $50 or whatever it may be. And they're probably way undershooting the value of your content because they know they can rip you off. And they know how much money you're worth because they work with agencies, they work with agents, and they work with a whole breadth of creators. And the bigger the creator, generally speaking, the more the creator knows how much they're worth. And the smaller the creator, the less they know how much they're worth and the more they're willing to sacrifice on value because they're just excited to make any money at all off of a sponsorship.
I want to know, like, how long should you accept for a pre-roll? When should you say no? And then obviously, I think we're going to cover today how you actually go about acquiring a sponsorship at that level. I think it's one thing to say that's what you're worth, but it's another thing to communicate with the sponsor that value and that worth.
You should say no to a sponsorship opportunity, or one, you don't like the product. Like, that's something that happens all the time. Like, people come to me and they're like, look, you know, this, especially mobile gaming companies or app companies will offer them a lot of money to sponsor their products. And they don't actually like the game. They don't actually like the app, but they're like, the money's good. They're offering me $10,000 to do one video. And then I'm like, cool. Do you actually like the game? They're like, I don't know. It looks like it's a platformer, blah, blah, blah. So why are you asking me whether you should do it or not? And the reason why they're asking whether they should do it or not is because they don't like it. And so if you find yourself asking, should I do this or not? Something in your head is telling you you don't like the product, probably. Because if you like the product a lot, you're probably not going to ask yourself, should I do this? You're going to ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do to make it happen? Now, in terms of whether you should take a pre-roll advertisement or not on your content. So as you guys know, getting the attention of your viewers right at the beginning of your stream, right, in your YouTube video, in your social media post, is critically important to being able to succeed. If you're playing a giant 2-minute pre-roll ad at the beginning of your video before anybody gets any value, Ross, are you going to tune in? Are you going to stick around for that one?
Nope. If that ad is going over 15 seconds, I'm out of there.
And so a lot of companies are going to ask you for the world for the sponsorship. They're going to say, play a 30-second, 45-second, 1-minute, 2-minute long pre-roll ad, or read this giant script before every video if you want the money. And you can get back to the sponsor and say, look, I want to support your brand, but the bottom line is, if I have to read an ad that long, the video isn't going to do well, and it's not going to get that much reach because tons of people are going to click on it, and then they're going to bounce because they're just watching some long ad read. And so you can use the performance of the content as leverage to negotiate with a sponsor. If they're saying, I want a 45-second pre-roll, you can say, look, I can tell you if I play a 45-second pre-roll, that video is probably going to get half the views. So can we negotiate that down to like a 20-second pre-roll? Because I want this video to get a lot of views for you. And then, I mean, what does a sponsor want? Double the views or not double the views, Ross?
They want double the views, they will.
They do want double the views. It's just math.